Hello everybody, how is it going? So, today I'm gonna go over the One Piece Championship 2023 over in the OCG. There's a lot of games that went on during this. This is just the grand finals. If you guys are interested in me kind of watching the other matches, I'd definitely be down. Just let me know. But this match is between Nami and Law. So, it was Law, and I felt like you guys would probably be interested in how Law is doing in OPO4. And we saw my matchup against Nami the other day, so maybe you want to see how the matchup goes in OPO4, if it's any different. Also, just I would imagine a higher level. I wouldn't say I'm as good as probably the people up on this stage. We were just at locals, kind of a whole different setting. But yeah, we can see the Law interesting choice in the film Chopper there. Also, we see the starter deck Nami, Chopper, Beam, and a Bonnie. I think that hand is pretty reasonable to take into Nami, just because, again, you have a little bit more time to set up. You don't have to worry about getting rushed down by, like, Zoro or other red decks, so I think it's fair to take this hand and just kind of see how it goes. The main struggle of this matchup is you won't see your life early, so you won't see as many cards. So it's good he has the Bonnie there to kind of make sure he'll find his supernovas, with the blocker laws. And I believe he's playing like Luffy and stuff. So I think it's a fair take. But yeah, they're just kind of setting up the match here. I don't know exactly what this event is called. I'm just assuming it's what I said earlier. But yeah, the production on it is crazy. It's really good. And I feel like not enough of our community is really kind of making videos on just like going over the matches, and you guys get what I'm saying. It's nice to have an English commentator for us in the western side of the world. So I think it's I thought it was a good idea. If y'all enjoy it, let me know. But our Law player goes first. He plays down a starter deck Nami, and then our Nami player plays down a Buggy, and I believe he picked up. I didn't see. Hold on. We'll see in a second. You can see the rest of his cards are like Deathwing, a couple other cards. Okay, he grabbed a Deathwing. All right, so there's 2 Deathwings in that pile, and I'd have to go back and look at what the other cards were. But yeah. Looks like the rest of his hand is 2 Spadas, looks like an All-Stars, a Pot of Greed, aka Sanji's Pilaf, and a Love Beam. But it'll go back to the Law's turn. He'll pick up, pick up a Zoro. He's got the crazy art. I think that's like the championship art, if I remember correctly, or it's from a treasure cup. I'm not exactly sure where it is, but really cool. He'll play down a Chopper, use starter deck Nami to give his leader a Dawn. And then thinking what he wants to do here. Alternatively, he could have just played the Zoro and just attacked for 5. I think either one is fair. Interesting, he's going 7, but when Nami only has 1 Dawn up, it's unlikely that they're really going to want to discard a Gavel for that. They could. But I don't know if early game you really want to Gavel. So he takes his first life, picks up a Kaya, which is definitely solid. He picks up a Brick Fist for turn. Mainly just seeing the Kaya is really important, so that's definitely a good draw. He takes the Sanji's Pilaf. Probably won't play the Kaya this turn just because he doesn't want to completely tap himself out. Looks like he picked up... He kind of reorganized there. I didn't see exactly what he picked up. Looks like there's an All-Stars in his hand. And we already know he had the Deathwing. I think he grabbed a Mr. 1 off that, I want to say. I think he grabbed a Deathwing and a Mr. 1. But, so this turn would normally be your Law turn. But I don't think he really has the resources to do that, because his hand is Otama, Chopper, Zoro, Beam. So he can't, he could play Chopper, Otama, and then use leader effect, but I don't think it's really worth doing that this turn. Because, you're gonna bounce a Bonnie for your Zoro, and then just have a Chopper and an Otama on the field. Doesn't really sound that great, so I understand him not wanting to take the leader effect this turn, rather go 7 with lead. Again, they'll have to use like a Spada or a rubber band alongside one other card. And it looks like he is going to use the Spada here. Looks at top 3. Let's see if we get to see them. Looks like a Buggy, a 2K counter, and a Pot of Greed. So he'll probably keep that. Seeing the peel-offs is pretty important. So yep, he'll leave him on top. And he will discard the Mr. 1 for an extra 1K counter. And our Law player will play down the Zoro, likely just passing. Doesn't want to have to defend the Zoro just yet. Makes sense, makes sense. Looks like he's just thinking about some stuff. And he does pass it back. Nami's now on 6 Dawn. Don't think they have access to a Zeph yet. But they do grab the Pot of Greed that they stacked off of the Spada. So definitely just going to play that down. Has already seen 2 of their peel-offs, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Doesn't really look like he's going to play much more this turn. He can maybe play the Buggy, but he might just want to... Yeah, we can see his hand. The only other plays he could really do is like the Buggy or the Kaya. I don't think he'd really want to this turn. Probably he could just leave 1 up for a Spada here. Probably doesn't want to use Love just yet. So yeah, he goes with the Kaya, looking for maybe more efficient counters at this part of the game. Picks up a Brickfist and a Mr. 1. Definitely he will discard the All-Stars and one of his Deathwings, okay. And likely passing it back here. Just doing a little bit of hand organization. And yep, he does pass it back. Law is now on 7 Dawn, so this will definitely be the turn that he can use his leader. He's gonna have to hope that Bonnie hits something. It's a little bit risky because we don't really have a backup to just bounce our Bonnie back to hand, but it looks like he does grab immediately a blocker Law, so he's stable now. It's all good. Doesn't have to worry about losing his Bonnie. Bonnie's very important because he won't, again, he's gonna be low on cards, and Bonnie will allow him to keep finding the cards that he wants to play. He'll go 7 into life. That's fair, that's fair. The main numbers I like swinging at Nami are 5 and 9. But I feel like 7 hasn't been bad for him so far. And yeah, the Nami player actually does take that life. Gets an All-Stars trigger, which is always crazy, Just draw 2 off of life. Very good. Looks like he picks up a Kaya. And I can't quite make out the other card he drew. But just, again, seeing another Kaya is always nice. Our Law player just thinking. Looks like he'll have to play down either an Otama or a Chopper to fill up his board here. I'd imagine he'll just go for the Otama so he can do a bigger swing with his lead, or the Zoro that he rebounces with the blocker Law. So he just goes 5 at life. That's chill, that's chill. Our Nami player will take the Spada. Looks at top 3. Sees a Deathwing, a Gavel, and another Brickfist. I feel like Brickfist is not very impactful in this matchup. Can only really bounce like your little chump blockers, so. It does look like he left it on top though. Probably wants to... Oh, not yet. He just put it down. He was looking. Okay, he actually bottom decks it. I think that's fair. None of the cards there were super impactful. Definitely is looking for Kayas, draw 2s, Zephs. All the bigger plays the deck has. So yeah, our Law player does play down the Otama. Minus is, I believe, the Kaya, just, for fun. Might as well. I'll use his leader ability, bounce back the Zoro, play down Blocker Law, use Blocker Law, take back Bonnie, play the Zoro. That's the Law classic right there. Oh my god, that Zoro is powerful. Just did a kickflip off the screen. That's pretty funny. But yeah, swing 7 at life. That's cool, that's cool. 7 again, he only has 1 active, so he'll probably need to use one of his event 2Ks and a 1K, or he'll Gavel, discard a card, which is basically the same amount of card economy that he's getting for that 7K swing. Our Nami player, definitely doing a little bit of thinking. I know he has a 2K, and it looks like he has a 1K, yeah, in the Buggy, so thinking about taking that. I think he will, just because, the 2K counter, I believe that card is just strictly a 2K counter, and the Buggy, doesn't find anything super crazy. He already has a Mr. 1, he already has a Deathwink. So I think that's fair to take that counter out. Save your events. He is definitely kind of, I believe he has a Love, a Deathwink. What else does he have? We can kind of see in the hand cam. A couple Brick Fists and some All-Stars, so we definitely need that Kaya to kind of cycle out those cards. And now he has 2 Kayas, so he can definitely be pretty efficient about that. Find some better counters, get rid of cards that aren't doing anything. Goes 5 at Zoro. Our Law will just take the free block. Yeah, you might as well swing as the Nami player though, just in case they forget. So we'll play down a Kaya. Draw 2. He picks up a Spada. And I want to say that's a Gavel. It's kind of hard to see. Looks definitely going to discard an All-Stars, and yeah, one of the Brick Fists. All-Stars is kind of just a brick in your hand, and Brick Fist is basically a brick in this matchup. It's kind of funny. Play down his second Kaya. He'll grab another Love Beam and a Peel Off. Those are 2 very good draws. That's what he was definitely looking for. So yeah, the other Brick Fist is definitely going. And we'll see what else he wants to get rid of. A bit of a harder decision on the other discard. Okay, no, the other card that he picked up off the first Kaya was a Rubber Band. My bad. Yeah, definitely chucking the Brick Fist. And I'd imagine, yeah, one of the other 1-cost events. Looks like he's going with the Spada. I think I agree with that, just because Spada's trigger is a lot better than just looking at top 3. Not saying that looking at top 3 is bad. It's just Rubber Band of Doom will actually mill you a card, so I think a little bit better for the deck at least. Organizing his hand a little bit. I'd imagine he'll probably take a Peel Off here. Still have a decent amount of Dawn open for his Love Beams or his Rubber Band. So yep, takes the Peel Off, draws another 2. It definitely feels like Nami is seeing the cards they want to see. You know, seeing your Peel Offs is important. The Love Beams are great late game, as you can pretty much counter out of a lot of things without going super minus on your hand. And he is counting the deck. I believe he counts it again next turn, so I'm just going to wait till then to count it myself. I looked away for 1 second. Damn it. But Law's board is a little bit clumped up. It's Zoro, Chopper, Starter Deck Nami, Otama, Law. That's his board right now. Just probably debating how he wants to swing this turn. Goes another 7 with Zoro. This turn I feel like the 7 won't be as good. It'll be okay, but one of them will probably be met with a Rubber Band and a 1k, and the other, if he goes for another 7, will probably either be taken or he might expend 1 Love Beam. I think he might just take it. But yeah, Rubber Bands, mills an All-Stars, and chucks the Buggy as well. Law player goes 1 Dawn on his blocker Law, swings for 7 again. And this is kind of Nami's choice. They can either love out of it, or they can just take this hit. I think, honestly, I think going 7 here is pretty good. Because if he went 9, it's like, oh, you're always going to take that Love Beam because you're just going to chuck the Mr. 1 and then Love Beam. So I think 7 was a good number. He gets a Spotted Trigger. So far, his life has been pretty good. He picks up the 2k counter, and man, they panned away from his hand. And a Gavel, okay. Imagine, I don't think he could get rid of a Love. I guess it just kind of depends how much he values the Deathwink, and I guess he does value it quite a bit, so he'll get rid of one of his Loves. I think that's fair. Our Law player will sack off the Otama for a Bonnie. Tap the Bonnie. Definitely looking for any of his 5 costs. See what he picks up. It looks like another immediate blocker Law. The cameraman didn't even get a chance to pan to it. Took it with the quickness. He'll use his Starter Deck Nami. Debating on what number he wants to go here. Goes 7 once again. After getting that Spotted Trigger, it's definitely a bit easier to get out of the 7 for the Nami now, because he picked up a 2k counter. and he still has the Mr. 1 for a 1k counter. So again, he doesn't really have to use his Love Loves here. So definitely nice trigger off life there, saving him from this swing, making it just a little bit easier. And Law will use his leader effect. Probably going to pick up, the starter deck Nami, play down a blocker Law, then pick up Bonnie. And I believe he picked up a starter deck Zoro, so his board is pretty wide now. He can definitely, this is when he really gets to start putting the pressure on, having 5 swings a turn, maybe 6 if he sees a restand Law. So yeah, this is kind of, it's crunch time now for the Nami. And he picks up a Mr. 1, I believe, for a turn, because he used the other one to counter. Law did leave one up, so our Nami can probably assume Radical Beam. The only thing I guess she'd really swing at is just that Zoro, but again, I mean, they still have the 6k blocker Law. And I'd imagine this turn he definitely wants to leave up a good amount of defense, because his whole hand is the defense cards, and he's about to pick up another one with the Mr. 1. So we're probably not going to see a swing coming out of Nami this turn, unless he wants to dedicate some Dawn to trying to clear a character. But grabs back a Rubber Band of Doom from the Mr. 1. Still has 9 Dawn left, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he can play, and 9. So he could save all of his Dawn and play all of his event cards this turn if he needs to. I think that's probably what he's going to end up doing. At this point, there's almost no point in contesting the Law's board. It's just play your hand out, and hopefully you make it in time to mill yourself out. But having Deathwinks and Love Loves, his hand won't budge very much when he's countering out of these bigger attacks. And yep, I think he does just pass it back there. Yep, they do. So now they both should be on 10 Dawn. Have a lot of swings coming in from Law. He picks up a Searcher Nami for turn. And yeah, we're gonna need some good math this turn. I like 5k swings, I like 9k swings. So he goes 9 immediately with starter deck Zoro. Okay. Our Nami player, I'd imagine they're probably gonna counter out of this. We'll tap 1 for the Rubber Band, melee Brickfist. So I believe they're playing 4 Brickfists. And then he'll use a Love Love. It's basically countering out of a 9k hit for just 1 card, but does tap 3 Dawn for it. Our Nami picks up another Rubber Band. That's solid. Law will swing for 7 with the Zoro. This is, just a Love Love. Kind of just a hand advantage-wise, a free counter out. I feel maybe he could have gone 1 more 9k swing here. I likes to go 2 more 7s. It's okay. Our Nami elects to use the Gavel. Gets out of another 7k swing. Law goes 1 more 7. Nami either might take this, or maybe they're just going to discard the buggy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Looks like he has 12 cards in hand, or in deck right now. So he could use both cards to counter out, and then draw 2 off this Deathwink. And that is what he ends up doing. I think that's a really good play. Draws 2, finds another Love Love, and a Rubber Band. Very good. And he should be at 10 cards in deck now. Looks like our Law is just going to swing 8 at lead. They are tapped out, so they will probably have to take this. And they do. And they get a Gavel trigger to bounce back their Kaya. That is, again, very strong. They're going to be at 9 cards in deck now, so this is kind of where the game is decided this turn, if they're able to get very close and then deck themselves out on the Law's turn. Unless they can just do it this turn, depending on their Kaya draws and such. So yeah, it should be 9 cards in deck. He'll tap 1, play down the Kaya. Draws 2, picks up double Zeph. Okay, so now he has 3 Zephs in hand. Didn't see him all game until this one turn. He saw 3 of them. He'll discard 2 of them. We'll probably only need the 1. Sorry for a little cut there. The stream did kind of cut out. But you guys didn't miss anything. Do not worry. So he will... So there should be 7 cards in deck after playing the Kaya. He'll tap 5, play down the Zeph, sacking off the Mr. 1 for the Zeph. A little bit of confusion there. He'll bounce the Kaya and mill 2. So now he should have 5. And it's looking good. It's looking good. He'll tap 1, play down the Kaya, draw another 2. And he finds a Gavel and another rubber band. So he will discard the Love and one of the rubber bands, I believe. Yup. And he has 3 Dawn active, 1 life, passes it back to Law. And if we're keeping count of the cards, it's looking good for Nami, because they will get the 1 card to discard for Gavel off their life, and that'll mill 2, and Rubber Band will mill 1. So it is pretty much game secured for Nami. It was an interesting match. I'm not exactly sure what the Law should have done better. If he could have played better, Nami will just take a 7k hit there. Law didn't get to really use his leader on the turn that Law almost always establishes his leader effect. So that could be a problem. Also, him going first could have made it harder. There's definitely a lot of factors. I'm trying to think of a couple before this game is pretty much over. Law just goes 15 at face, and Nami will activate the Gavel, discarding the Zeph he grabbed off life, mills 2, and then he will tap 1 for the rubber band, milling his last card. So that is pretty much game. Very interesting to see Nami in finals. I was happy to see Law too. You know, I love when Law is still kicking around. Definitely, you know, Law best deck, let's go. Maybe not in this scenario, but yeah, thank you guys for watching.